Today we visit a private home garden that is truly breathtaking. If you're looking for ideas to create a beautiful natural tropical garden or looking for some special unique exotic plants to add to your collection, stay tuned. We then also step into the house to take a peep inside. And what an incredible visual spectacle the interior is. It's adorned with a vibrant and eclectic art collection mirroring Russ's extensive travel and love for both the modern art and antiques. Russ is a huge dog lover too. He has about 4 at any one time, and we see this expressed in many of his art pieces. The living area is a huge open space connecting both upstairs and downstairs, and the big glass panels invites the garden in and extends the living space to his greeneries outside. Now, visitors here may be confused. On one hand, this looks like a landscape home garden, but wait, this bit here, especially in the backyard, really start to have that jungle vibes with the tall trees and climbers and creepers everywhere. And if you look a little closer at each individual plant, you start to realize this is no ordinary garden. This is almost designed as a botanical garden, catering for different plant groups, from the sun-loving plants to those that thrive in the shady, humid rainforest. I love especially the ones with the sexy and silvery textures and these heavily ribbed leaves. We are in Singapore and in the private home and garden of Russel Low. He is a lawyer. And when he is not busy lawyering, he is busy gardening or working out, or sometimes both simultaneously. When he finds his weights becoming too light, he may start lifting pots around for fun.
In terms of what the garden means to me, I think the garden is really sort of my sanctuary, my bit of paradise. It's a place where I retreat to and just really focus on what I'm doing, whether I'm planting or landscaping or just moving things around. It really takes my mind off work or any troubles, because I'm just so focused on what I'm doing. And time passes really quickly, and it sort of helps to de-stress. So it's a place where which also helps promote creativity, because I'm trying to decide how things should look. I predict how things are going to grow, and then we'll look eventually. But yeah, really, I think it's really that private space that I retreat to and sort of de-stress.
So tip number 1 when visiting a friend with a really nice garden, bring a plant, so maybe he or she may be compelled to give you one in return too.
Hey, hi, good morning.
Good morning. How or not? We're not sure. Here is what gift for
shouldn't
you?
have. Thank
Yes.
you. What is this?
I don't know, but I thought it was very special because I've never seen it before. I think it's a labisia of sorts.
It's from Chanel?
Yeah, it's very luxurious and rare plant.
Wow. Awesome, thank you.
So Russ, you have a pretty amazing garden. I have to say that your Instagram had prompted me to buy quite a number of plants. So I'm really excited to be showing you guys here what he has. Can you tell us a bit about your garden? Like, how big is it? How long have you had it?
Well, the entire land where the plot sits on is about 7,300 square feet. I think the garden probably takes up about half of the space. I moved in here in 2011. When I moved in, there was nothing. It was just grass. So I had to basically grow a lot of trees and plant a lot of plants, everything, just to get it to where it is today.
And then, did you engage a landscaper or you did it on your own?
Everything on my own.
Yeah.
I'm, a control freak, and I would change my mind quite a lot as well. So I didn't really want to get, a landscape guy involved. I did get obviously the trees from nurseries. Once I sort of earmarked what I wanted, but then I would have to decide on where I wanted to put them. There were actually times where I had to uproot because I thought, okay, not the perfect spot, and then I had to dig another hole in the ground and sort of move the trees there. So it's a lot of work, even up till now. In terms of maintenance, it's all me. I don't engage anyone else to do it.
I think that's testament to a true plant lover, that they tend to do a lot of things themselves.
Yeah. I think part of the fun of gardening is the ability to add plants from time to time, which is why we shouldn't plant our garden fully from the outset. I think we should take our time to really plan what we want, and then over time start to add new plants to fill up pockets of spaces, or because of the way certain plants grow you might need to move them around, or even when your interests change, and let's say you were never into aeroids but then you discovered them and you want to start filling place with them, then that's really fun, because then it keeps gardening interesting, because you are constantly looking for new plants to grow. That's how also your garden sort of evolves over time. I think when deciding what kind of trees to grow, at least in my garden, I had sort of 3 keywords in mind, and they were jungle, native, and biodiversity. I really wanted to create somewhat of a natural sort of jungle paradise with a good mix of palm trees, native plants, gingers, bromeliads, ferns, and obviously my favorite, costus. The keywords of native and biodiversity sort of are linked, because I wanted to promote birds and butterflies and mammals to come visit the garden. And to do that, you start off with planting native plants, because that would be the sort of the plants that would attract your local wildlife, right? So far in the 11 to 12 years that I've lived here, I've seen all kinds of mammals and reptiles and various types of snakes, squirrels, tree shrews, monitor lizards, monkeys, and really different types of birds, many of which are sort of migratory birds that just come by, you see them for a few weeks and then they're gone. It's really nice to just see wildlife in your garden, because then it's something just very relaxing about that.
So maybe we could start by you showing us a few of your favorite plants.
Because I have so many different types of plants, I have quite a lot of favorites. I would sort of favorites in every sort of family of plants. But in terms of if I have to name top 5 right now, I think we are basically standing in the area where they are located. Start with these 2. These are Encephalatos. This was Encephalatos limanii and Encephalatos nubi montanus. Both are South African cycads.
Okay.
They're all commonly known as the blue cycads, because obviously they're blue.
This one especially, so grayish and so blue. And
Yeah,
white.
so it's quite amazing that even in the tropics, they do stay blue, because typically you need colder, drier weather. What gives them the blue also is the trichomes. In tropics, because of rain, they get washed away, and then that's why it doesn't normally appear as blue.
Okay, the more trichomes, the more bluish.
Correct.
It would be. Okay.
So these 2, I have had them, 4 or 5 years now. Imported them when they were a lot smaller from a seller in Thailand, and he's CITES certified, because these are CITES 1 plants.
Oh.
So
means they're like protected.
They're protected, so you can't just buy off anyone. That would be illegal.
Okay.
Yeah. I found this guy in Thailand. He's one of 2 or 3 CITES certified sort of exporters for cycads in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not something that you could just buy anywhere. You need papers for these.
You need
plants.
papers, and you need space, because obviously they take up quite a lot of space, and the kind of media you use is also pretty heavy, because you need really well draining media. So a lot of it, what I'm using is a lot of pumice, which is quite light, but then I sort of mix it with lava rock.
Oh.
and burnt earth.
Okay.
And I put it in clay pots because it's more porous,
Yeah.
so it doesn't retain as much moisture. So this has been I found this to be a good way to grow cycads in the tropics.
Yeah, because you need it to be very fast draining.
Correct,
And not,
especially during the monsoons where it could rain for 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So far they've been doing okay, even though they've been outdoors.
Some people say that cycads are like an old man's plant.
Who said that?
Sean told me that.
Sean's misinformed.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's basic human behavior or sociology that anything that your dad finds cool and amazing, you're probably never going to agree with. He's actually a pretty big plant collector, although he usually does it because he likes the value of the plants. He likes expensive plants, and he's repeatedly told me to throw away all my cheap plants. But
So what is your next favorite plant?
Next favorite plant, let me bring it to you. So it's this. It's actually common, but I'm gonna let you guess. What do you think this is?
It looks like a very long bromeliad.
Yeah.
Like it has this pattern of a bromeliad, but then it's exceptionally long, and I'm confused.
So I know you're Malaysian, so you don't know about the Singapore presidential sort of elections that's going
I know
on.
it happened yesterday.
Yeah, so each of the candidates have a symbol,
Okay.
and the guy who won, what's his
Ah,
symbol? Do you know?
pineapple.
Yeah.
Because I read there's some talk about pineapple and what it
Yeah.
meant,
So-
and then I googled it.
The naturally golden pineapple fruit for the Chinese is seen as a symbol of wealth and prosperity, and in the Hokkien dialect, it's pronounced as ong lai, which sounds like fortune come. But when I googled it up, it means an entirely different thing in the Western world, including swinging, and we're not talking about the ones in the playground. And when you hang it upside down, it also means something else.
This is a pineapple. So it's a bromeliad, right? It's an ananas, and it's supposed to be a mutated form of the common pineapple that we consume,
Oh.
Ananas cosmosus. So this is a mutant form that came from Thailand.
It's quite a statement piece.
It is, and then when it fruits, it's out of this world. And you have a giant pineapple that sits on top, right? And then there will be mini sort of pups that will appear from the top and from the below, which you can harvest and propagate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you say it's a mutant. So what's mutant about it? Is it the length?
Oh yeah, I mean, pineapple plant leaves tend to go upwards. They don't flop over.
Oh.
Yeah, like a typical bromeliad, the plants will go upwards.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of like an air plant, a Tillandsia, the xerographica.
Yeah.
A
Maybe
little
I
bit.
should take
What?
a regular pineapple plant to show you.
Yeah, okay. Elegant.
So a typical pineapple plant will look more like this. I think more people are probably more familiar with sort of this form where it sort of goes up. It doesn't droop over like this.
Is this a variegated version or pineapples are like that?
It's a variegated version,
Oh, okay.
or what we call elbow marginated version. This one, very interesting as well, because the pineapple fruit comes out as a white fruit,
Uh-huh.
sort of like a variegated fruit, and then the crown is highly sort of elbow marginated sort of patterns on top. Very striking. It's also very sweet, tastes like a regular pineapple. It's called the Ananas Pied Delight. It's a hybrid.
Wow.
And again, only a few of us in Singapore have this. Right, so my other favorite plant is this strange looking plant over here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much. Huh?
As a whole, it doesn't seem like much, but then
Yeah.
the focus is down there.
Oh, okay. Very intriguing.
So this plant is called the Pseudobombex ellipticum. It's a Mexican plant. And what is interesting about this is its trunk. So caudiciform plants are those plants that form a huge caudex,
Yeah.
right? And the more round or weird shaped it is, the more prized it is. So
Like people like it for the lump.
yeah, for the lump that it is, and try and get it into a ball, You know, so what bonsai collectors would do would basically be to trim off the branches so that it looks a bit more aesthetic.
Oh, because when you trim it off, it encourages the growth here?
Encourage, yeah. So if you trim all of it off, then it forces the caudex to grow bigger.
Oh.
If you don't do anything about it, then
Right.
it will end up growing as a tree.
So you also try to cultivate and make that as big as you can?
Yeah, so this one had already come a little like this, but obviously, over the years, I've had this since 2014.
Okay.
So over the years, it has grown, but it's extremely slow. Another good, sort of fact is you can trim it, cut it,
Yeah.
and you can just stick it into a pot of soil, and you get a brand new plant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
and then you
easy to
can get
propagate.
a caudex too because you just keep trimming every time it emerges.
I must say I cannot appreciate this plant yet. It's honestly quite ugly to me.
When you see the crimson red leaves, it might change your mind. I think there's some outside.
All right.
It is so glossy and so dark. You love it.
Okay. All right.
So I like terrestrial bromeliads because they're very structural. And as you can see, they come in various colors. There are different genuses of...
Wait, you just said terrestrial bromeliads. So the others would be like epiphyte, you mean?
When people think of bromeliads, they think of them as epiphytic plants
Yeah.
that grow on trees. But yeah, I mean, they're mainly epiphytic, but then there are also the terrestrial ones, right? And the terrestrial ones are typically found at higher elevations.
Oh.
Not so high that they can't grow in the tropics, but
Yeah.
maybe, like in more exposed area, rocks, cliff faces,
Okay.
very exposed areas, and that's why they look the way they do. Right.
Like these ones, you mean?
Yeah, all of these, they're all growing in soil-based media with lava rock and
They
burnt
look
earth.
really evil, like thorns and like.
Yeah, some of them, I mean,
Drill.
most of them are pretty sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I work with them, I would have to wear like a long sleeve shirt.
At this point, the audio crapped out. Russ explained that he had scars from working with bromeliads that just wouldn't heal.
When people ask you, oh, where'd you get the scars from my plants?
Plants. So this little cozy corner here is where I grow most of my variegated plants. Call it the variegated plant corner. So it's not limited to aeroids. In fact, I don't have a lot of variegated aeroids.
Okay.
I find it more interesting to keep other kinds of variegated plants. They do appear in so many families of plants. Like this one here
Yeah.
is a Dracaena. I forgot the name of the species.
Ah, okay.
But it's, very imposing. It can get to a very large size.
It's a very nice structure.
Very structural.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the variegated coconut tree. Russ assures me that the fruit should also be variegated. Next up, we have here the breadfruit tree, the variegated Artocarpus, and the leaf shape is truly, truly unique. And this one here is something we're all very familiar with. This is actually coffee.
Interestingly, this branch is not variegated, only this one.
Okay.
So,
would you cut this off?
yeah, I would probably cut it off.
This is beautiful. What is this?
So this is a Dillenia indica, a variegated form of Dillenia indica.
Wow.
So the more common Dillenia that you see is the ones that are planted either in the gardens or they're quite wild with the yellow flowers. I have it here as well. It's a that one is a native species to Singapore. This one is not, but I like this one a lot because of the geometric sort of patterns.
Even without the variegation, it's already
Yeah,
very nice.
It's very nice.
Wow. And this one, this is very beautiful and balanced, the variegation. What is it?
I don't know the name, forgot the name. It's okay, the common name is called velvet tree.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It's got very nice variegation.
Yeah, it looks like it's stable. It doesn't look like the sort to revert.
Yeah.
plant is amazing. What is it?
So this is a variegated tiger orchid.
Uh-huh.
It has never flowered before, hoping that it would one day.
Maybe because you didn't fertilize it?
Yeah, you know, I have so many plants, right? I don't really regularly fertilize. It just takes too much time. But you're right, maybe I should. But
Yeah.
I'm also hoping that the weather conditions could trigger flowering, like, you know, intense heat waves usually trigger flowering of plants.
Ah, okay. All right. Oh! Hey, Russ. I love this. Can I have a cutting?
It won't survive in the cutting.
You want? It's not like an arrow. What is it? It looks like a Vichy eye.
Yeah, it's not. It's a tree. It belongs to. It's called Syzygium. It's a genus. Syzygium jirohoi.
Yeah.
So it's the same family as. Is it a mangosteen?
Jambu.
Yeah, sorry, jambu. Was it? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, it's a tree from Indonesia,
Okay.
and it has very nice long
Gorgeous.
leaves. Not velvety, but you know, very ripped. It was very
Are you
nice.
sure it would survive with like cutting?
No, even you can't even ship it bare root. The moment you disturb its roots,
Oh.
it will die.
Oh.
It's one of those highly sensitive sort of plants.
Finicky plants.
Yeah. Actually, it does quite well in sort of bright light. But then I think, you know, when I was away in Japan for 3 weeks, it was really, really hot, and the afternoon sun sort of burned the leaves, which is quite sad. I was really upset when I saw
Yeah.
this.
Oh gosh.
Even
I
the-
feel the pain.
Brand new leaves, you know, emergent leaves were also fried.
How about this? This is really nice too. Look at the pattern. Oh, what is it?
This is a Schefflera.
Ah, okay.
No, sorry, this is a Trevesia.
You know, you could say anything, and now I just go, oh yeah.
But others would know. So.
Again, a cutting. Can I have a cutting?
A cut right here would be perfect.
Does it grow from cuttings?
I have not tried. I think it can. I have not tried though.
But so could I?
You can't bring it to Malaysia.
That's true. Russ, you have tongkat Ali, so you use this? So tongkat Ali, everybody, is it's like a natural Viagra.
And this is the more powerful one. This is Tongkat Ali Hitam.
Ah.
Yeah.
But you actually have to eat the roots though.
So the way I understand it, yes, you harvest the roots and then you grind it into a powder or something like that. To be honest, I've never tried it, and then nor would I, because I don't think I need it. But it is an interesting plant with an interesting background, with again very nice
Yeah,
leaves.
the leaves are beautiful.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to eat the roots, you would be basically killing the plant, right?
Correct.
And then it's over harvested, I think, in a while. Because
Yeah. I mean, have you seen it in a while?
I have seen,
The normal one or this one? This one.
it looked like this.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was hiking in Sarawak, but it's
Wow.
rarely, very rare.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it produces like tiny flowers like this.
Oh,
So this is still the bud stage. It hasn't
okay.
opened.
Again, does it propagate by cutting?
I think this might actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep that in mind. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, you can just cut it in Sarawak. You know?
That would be illegal too while hiking.
It's your problem.
So cocky. At this point, I want to share with you that he has his prize pet cock and chicken, and he feeds them Anthurium seeds sometimes. Can you believe it?
Hello, is anyone here?
Hey, Sean, we're over here.
Oh my
Oh my God!
How are you? Hey, Russ. Hey.
You could hug him too.
Yeah.
What plant is that you wanted?
I don't know. I saw some over there and then like.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. No, you have to be more specific. So Sean, what plant do you have your eye on?
You know the Tongkat Ali, the one that's in the front?
Oh yeah, Tonka Ali. Okay,
Yeah,
I
the one
know,
that's
I know.
calling out our names.
Yes, yours.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, so you kind of distract him while I, do the thing.
Okay.
Okay. Hey Russ, I think I need to go use the toilet.
Okay.
So, I'll just tell
Inside?
myself.
Yeah,
Okay, go in
go
your
inside.
house.
All right, Russ. So tell us a little bit about your garden. How do you style them? Any styling tips for gardeners?
It's a good question. I think at the end of the day, you should map it out on a piece of paper, have an idea what you want in terms of the style of garden you want, in terms of the sort of plants that you are going for. So if you are going for a more jungle feel or with a lot of tropical plants, a lot of foliage, then you need to have a lot of trees.
Yeah.
If you're going for a more bromeliad landscape, right, then you would probably do with less trees because bromeliads, to bring out their colors, you require more light.
Yeah.
If you prefer a serric garden, like a cacti garden, then even more so, less trees,
Yeah.
very exposed, a lot of rocks, a lot of sand.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the sort of garden that you're going for, the kind of look that would inspire you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Based on what you're telling me, the first tip is to follow the light level first. To plant based on the...
Depending on the kind of plants that you want.
Yeah.
So light would probably be the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think he won't mind me helping him to trim a little. Yeah, the garden needs some trimming. The IKEA pack is very useful.
Okay. What about composition, colors, and other good stuff?
So again, composition will largely be very subjective. Again, depending on type of plant and when you want to plant it. I think if you're going to incorporate trees, then I would say trees more along the edges of the compound.
Yeah.
So that you keep the center area, a little bit more spacious, and
Yeah.
then you can also have more light there.
Yeah.
And then from there you sort of work in terms of how you want to lay out the rest of the plants.
Okay.
It's okay to put 1 or 2 trees sort of in the middle, like what I have. I've done
Yeah.
with palm trees, just to give it a little bit more sort of a depth, right? So that it's not all the trees at the edge.
So what you're telling me is the second tip is to play with the height first. Go with the tall first,
Yeah.
and then start to
for
work your
sure.
way down.
Yeah.
And now we sneak in via the back door and help ourselves to a house tour while Sean pretends to be interested in landscaping. I love checking out people's home. This place has a really eclectic art collection. We are greeted by this imposing portrait, well, 2 in fact, of Mr. Dali looking blue and startled. The blue accent is then picked up gracefully by this horse. Now, blue is the most rare naturally occurring color in nature, and its scarcity also meant that it was a high status color for many years. And sometime later, humans figured out how to make the blue pigment, and so we can enjoy it in abundance today. I myself have installed a secret blue door in my garden. The living space here is beautifully lit with generous amounts of natural light pouring in from the garden. The use of big glass windows allows for this magic to happen. Now, some people may feel insecure using a generous amount of glass, especially when there are no curtains, for privacy reasons, for not wanting to feel like you're in an aquarium. But you can tackle this by having lots of trees, shrubs, plants outside, which then does the double duty of providing you with the screening you need and a fantastic view to look out to. This is the kitchen. It is an interesting standalone unit that is very much glass, giving us this wonderful 270 degrees of the garden. And on the other side of all these glass is a very functional kitchen. Russ's living room is truly eclectic, celebrating the diversity in the style and colors of chairs, sofas, but still with the delicate balance to achieve a cohesive look among these unique pieces. I salute his choice of this bold green sofa, and of course, I am immediately drawn to it. Lately, all the outfits I buy are green in color, and this one even matches my top perfectly. Russ is an animal lover also, in case you haven't noticed. He has a big heart and often has a few dogs at any one time, often taking in ones that are injured or in need of love and a good home. And we do see this love of dogs splattered in the art pieces and decor around the house. Let's pause here for a bit to admire these Chinese straw raincoats. They look like wings to me. But hang on, what attracts me more are actually this chest of drawers and knobs. Oh, just so tempting. I think this is the Chinese medicinal chest. The entire home feels open, and really the living, dining room and upstairs are all visually connected. And when paired with these big windows extending to the outside, the space feels much bigger than it really is. There are some smaller exquisite treasures lined up here. I recognize them as being more Eastern pieces because my own dad was also an antique collector. Particularly, they look like these are from China or the regions around it. Perhaps Russ is paying a subtle note to his Chinese ancestry. As we move along upstairs, we are confronted by some unsettling art pieces that are a lot more solemn, with tones of violence and death and superheroes, and I really don't know enough art to tell you much more. Upstairs, the theme of dogs and spaciousness continues, and this open concept, I suppose, allows for family members to easily call out and find one another.
Dinner's ready!
Okay, we really need to head back now before Russ gets suspicious on why it takes me so long to pee.
Okay, what about like in terms of care? Do you place them based on how easy you want to care for them, or not really? Like visually?
Not really. I think it's more visual than anything else.
Okay.
You know, the what I call the fillers.
Yeah.
Right. Quite easy to sort of maneuver. What I've liked is to actually grow them in pots, so that if I have to move them,
yeah,
I can easily move them. So if I want to raise them, I just put the pots on a stand.
Yeah.
So I can raise the plant.
That's
rather
cool.
than just planting them in the ground. Yeah.
But I mean, the benefit of planting them in the ground is that they can get bigger faster.
For sure, yeah.
Sometimes that's also not a good thing when we have a garden that's limited in size. Like when things size up too fast, that could also be a challenge.
But it's also, I found it's okay to leave it in a pot because the roots would still find its way, and it would still grow to its full potential.
Oh guys, I just want to say goodbye. Yeah, bye Ross, goodbye. Yeah.
Bye.
You love this video, remember to subscribe and share it with others. See you in my next one.